War just happened. But not your daddy's Thor. I'll tell you that shit right now.
No! No!
This is...
I have games of my own I could play.
We start off with...
the title sequence. It's going through mountains, and they're trying to be really Lord of the Rings. It's like the Lord of the Rings title art. It's like the white, and it kind of goes into hell, and it's Loki doing a ceremony. He's like Beetle, Vulture, Ragnarok.
Gondor, Ragnarok,
He's got a little baby rattle. He's like Hot Topics Loki.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of those Orby balls you give kids. And then a portal opens, and he goes through it, and it brings him to Asgard.
Whoa. Oh, special effects, man. Oh my god.
What's up with the purple lighting and everything?
The special effects in this movie are just... mwah. Oh my god, he hit him with a little squeezy ball.
You never know what's going to happen
Even
next.
the dullest point of this movie still has some bonkers shit going on screen. It's just beyond.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my gosh.
And then we have three guys walking up on the mountain, which they kind of just look like three guys. I mean, there's nothing really...
They look like Vikings.
Sure. Is this really going to be like... Are those... That's like... These are people, right? These aren't the gods.
Well, they have like the jackets and like the, you know what I mean? Like in like the furry boots.
Turns out it's Odin, Thor, and Thor's brother, the lumpy head guy. He is never given a name, but they're walking up through some mountains, and they've got some JPEGs on the mountains. I think they're supposed to be carvings.
It's cute.
It's majestic.
Whoa.
And they are on their way into a cave. In the cave are the Fates, I think.
They're like weaving.
They got the fabric of time.
Or fate. I don't know. They all walk in, and Odin's like, "Give me the fate of the world."
This hammer was forged by my father.
But it's also very jarring because it goes from like regular Odin to like the Fates who aren't talking, and there's like a weird white grain.
Well, they don't talk. They kind of just stare.
Yeah.
It is a dark day, Odin, king of Asgard, that we summon you here to see us.
I would come for no one else.
I wasn't really paying attention to the dialogue during that part.
And they leave, and Thor stays back, and he goes, "Fate is what you make it."
Whoa, what is he doing?
I don't believe in fate.
Oh, I thought he was about to kill them. Yeah, it's like that's like the theme of the movie.
It's the most on-the-nose theme. He says it at least 100 times.
Oh yeah.
Fate is upon us.
I don't believe in fate.
Change the fate of men. Change the fate of gods.
We can weave our own fate. We can control our destiny. That is why you are the younger brother.
Loki has sieged Asgard.
Oh, that's correct. Hogwarts.
Which looks like Hogwarts. He summons like these weird CGI dogs. Oh my god!
Thor!
Which markings on them.
You say weird. I say superb.
He's going after... Ready for this? The Hammer of Invincibility.
Oh, Mjolnir.
Find me the hammer of invincibility, my garment. This world will be yours to control.
I don't think whoever made this movie really knew anything about the Norse mythology that went into it. I think
no.
they like saw a movie on it or something, and they didn't really get how it worked. And they were like, "Oh, Norse mythology, that's public domain. I can use that." Ah.
To arms! To arms! Invasion!
Oh, to arms. I thought you said dwarves. Loki sieging Asgard, and Odin's like, "We must go stop Loki and his dogs. Thor, stay behind your brother because you're not strong enough yet."
Stay back behind your brother.
It cuts to Thor, and he's just asleep on the ground.
Odin kind of told him to go take a nap. It was happening too fast to really like absorb what was happening. Loki comes down. He's on the mountain. He's like, ah.
He fights Odin. Odin and him go at it, and they fight.
In slow motion.
Odin drops. Odin like beats him and then he stabs him and you're like, oh wow, that was a quick movie. But then it turns out it's like the brother of Thor. What?
Loki made Potato Head look like himself.
And then Odin's like, Loki, and then Loki kills Odin.
Right after.
Instantly. After he kills Odin, he goes, Odin, your world is destroyed.
Was that him?
Ah, my pet.
Oh. Where did that come from? I thought Odin was dead.
So he kills Odin, then he goes up on a mountain, and then he shouts for Odin like he didn't just kill Odin. These are the gods of Asgard. Guard.
It doesn't deserve the D because it's just not a complete...
I call it Asgard.
So then Thor wakes up. He decides to wake up. He's like, time to wake up out of my nap.
Well, he's very well rested.
Oh, no. Whoa. Time out. I missed a part. His dad takes the hammer of invincibility, and throws it into a portal, and it disappears.
That's right.
Whoa. They made it go away.
That's why he's looking for the hammer.
He finds his dad dying.
And he's like,
Thor, only on the full moon, on something, this is your chance. The hammer will appear. The first full moon.
again, I'm just, first off, who is the bro? Then Loki comes down, and then
He beats Thor time one. Kicks Thor's ass, and then this woman comes, and this woman, by the way, saves Thor every single time he fights Loki. Every single
it's like
time.
his babysitter.
Yeah, she's just like woman, and I'm gonna call her Woman from The Mummy Returns because that's who it is. She like reminds us that he's like brave and courageous all the time,
She's
like he's a
talking
little
Thor
kid.
up every time, and he always fails.
What? Shh. I'm Thor.
So she comes and saves Thor.
Does she have a name?
No, I don't think so either.
I'm Bjorn Saxa. I'm a servant of your father.
She's a Valkyrie, though, we come to find out. And she's there to
Well,
help
I
Thor
don't-
get
I
the
don't
hammer.
remember that. And I feel like I have a pretty good memory of the movies. I don't remember any scene where it confirmed that she was a Valkyrie.
Valkyries? Warrior guardian of the gods?
And Thor's like, I need to defeat Loki, like right now. And she's like, no, we need to. I don't even know where it is.
We must get to the training camp.
We were perplexed by what was going on. There's smoke everywhere.
Oh, the entire movie has smoke in it.
Smoke
And-
everywhere. She finds him when they're running through the woods, and, you know, he's an incompetent dumbass. So, you know, she's like, quick, come here, dumbass. And they go and they find him.
She goes, Thor, we have to go to this place. And he goes, what place? He asks like so many questions. They're like questions that we would ask.
He was like, he was the viewing audience,
Yeah.
because we would be like,
He's like,
where are they? And he
Where
would
are
be
we
like,
going? What are these things?
Why did Norn summon Father? What gateway? Where's your potion of healing, Father? How? Restored what? Where is he? How do you use it? What do you mean? Who are you? Stop!
What?
What is this place?
Oh my fucking god. Thor can't do anything in this movie.
Who taught you how to fight?
I taught myself.
yeah, he's a pussy.
Then you better teach me quick, because I'm gonna kill Loki the first chance I get. Yes!
This guy sucks.
What just happened?
She trained Thor.
Oh, she just kicks his ass a few times. Is there a training montage?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm Thor.
Let's just take this minute and just...
This is a doozy. A doozy.
Oh, by the way, too, I just want to just really mention this because this happens a lot in the movie, too. They'll be, like, walking around, and then Loki's voice will just be heard. Like, he's on a loudspeaker, but he's just, like, projecting it.
He's running away, and he's like, Thor.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I can hear you.
They go to more ruins, and there's a dog protecting him, and she takes a stone and throws it in the water. They open up the portal, but then Loki comes out of nowhere and he's like, Thor, where is the hammer? And she goes, here, take it. And she throws the hammer at him.
Wait, when did they get the hammer? Did I? I looked away for 3 seconds. When did the hammer come into play? When did the hammer come into play?
And then he's like, yeah, I got the hammer.
And it's just like dinky little axe.
And it's an axe. And he's like, no.
It came out of nowhere. We don't know how, like, it was a losery trick, but that's Loki's trick. So,
Yeah, so
we
you
don't
don't
know
really-
how he got fooled by the trick because it never got established that he made the fake hammer.
Or that she can do
Or
that.
that she can do that, or that Thor can do that. Or they jump through a portal to escape from Loki, and bada boom, they're in the city, baby.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It goes from like forest background to
City.
Only 2 backgrounds in this whole movie other than hell.
I did not see this coming.
This is so blue.
So they were in Asgard that whole time?
Yeah. Now they're like in downtown Chicago.
The rest of the movie is in the city from now on. That whole woods thing, that was Asgard. They're out of Asgard. That's the budget for Asgard is finished, kaput. Time to go to the alley.
Tell me that was not the hammer you gave to Loki.
Of course I didn't.
I saw it!
They're in the alley and then they go to the Valkyrie's like hideout. She goes, here, take this. And she just gives him a trench coat and they just both put on trench coats over their armor. And she gives him a gun and he's like, what's this? And he's like looking at he points at himself. Why does she have guns? I thought this was a Thor movie.
At the center of your
If
target.
she knows about guns, then how come she didn't bring the guns back to Asgard? I couldn't fathom the fact that there was just this unguarded armory for Norwegian gods in some alleyway. They kind of just jump a barbed wire fence.
Oh, I
and
remember
walk-
there was a weird jarring scene where he like flies over it and just lands down. And then they go to like some random warehouse. And I remember like feeling against the wall and she goes, what do you feel? And he goes, the wall.
Can you feel anything?
A wall.
We won't get to the portal now. We won't get.
She goes, this is the doorway to the heart of the world. And she's like, the heart of the world.
The heart of the world. The heart of the
No.
world.
He goes, Gateway, and it works.
Gateway!
And then he hops in, and then a different movie starts.
Yes.
This is a good shot. That looks like a real movie.
It's like the cinematography is fantastic. The
It's
lighting's
insane.
good. Genuinely, the best scene in the movie.
It's
like
so
not
short.
No funny. No like
It's
it
out
just.
of nowhere. He fights the guy. He has a heart
This
that covers
fight's
his
going
eyes.
on for 5 minutes.
Hey, do you know who that is, by the way, that he's fighting?
Nope.
Or why they're fighting?
Well, all I know is he's dead now.
Where did he just stab him? We don't know who this guy is. We don't know where he is.
But then he kills him. Then he's like walking through like the Rainforest Cafe. They got a permit to film in the Rainforest Cafe. That's what he's moving through right now. And it comes to this oval heart and like the
Oh,
little
yeah,
hammer-
and he sees
the hammer-
Yggdrasil. Whoa! Yggdrasil. You know,
Yeah.
the heart of the world, which is
Yeah,
the
but
Yggdrasil is a tree at the heart of the world in Asgard in Norse mythology. But he's
The hammer's there too, and then he like
hammer's
gets the
on top
hammer.
of a jelly bean, a beating jelly bean.
You can definitely tell that it's just like a rock taped onto a broomstick.
It's bananas.
And Loki, he's just walking around the city, and it's funny because like there's just the genuine reaction of people around him, and they're just like. This man in like armor is just walking around, and like everyone's.
And they're
like,
not extras. They're,
They're not.
actual
They
real
definitely
people.
were not. They had to be real people. But he is walking around so confidently in this like spiky armor, and they're just like.
Okay. Alex, what in the Lord's name happens in the middle of this movie? Thor goes in for the kiss, and she gives him the cold hand.
Yes.
And then she goes on a little soliloquy to herself, but turns around and Thor was like, nah, bitch, I'm out.
He's gone. He's gone. Yeah.
And now he's just gone. He just totally pieced out. Yo, dude. He got so salty. Thor fights Loki in an auto garage, where this is where we begin the cycle of Thor saying, I can get Loki,
I have to defeat Loki now!
You're not ready yet.
finding Loki without being ready, Loki fighting him and kicking his lily ass.
Defend yourself, Loki.
The Valkyrie saving him, and then they jump through a portal.
Let's go.
And then we restart the cycle.
We can kill him, I swear it!
Thor, please.
No!
And this happens
Probably about 4 times.
4
I'd say.
times, I think.
This is madness.
It's the majority of the movie. The bulk of the movie is that.
There's a little bit of diversity though. Loki is like, I can bring back your brother, which he calls him just his brother, doesn't give him a name. Odin and your brother, and then Thor's like, what? And he's like, stop Ragnarok.
Speak!
Your father, your brother. The power of the bone is the only thing that put them in Muspelheim hell.
And then Loki's like, I'm gonna stop Ragnarok. Just give me the Rattler. And he just disappears.
Give it to me.
And then Thor goes back to the hideout with the woman. He's like, I found the Rattler. I'm gonna bring back my father. And then she's like, no, destroy it.
I killed Loki. I defeated him. He's dead. I saw him melt.
He like takes the Rattler. He's like, bring back Odin. Bring back my father Odin. Odin, I will pull you through the halls. And then suddenly, like, the Rattler, like, lights up and then just transforms into
Loki. Loki was the baby Rattler.
Yeah. And it's gonna be like zombie Odin and he has to fight him.
Oh, it's a smoking pot.
Loki, how did you get past the runestone?
You invited me.
He's like, how did you get in here? And Loki's like, you brought me in. Then the woman comes and bops him on the head. No, she doesn't. You know what she does? She comes out with a pistol and goes, pop, pop.
That's right. Name.
And then he turns out, he's like, ha ha ha. And he like heals over and starts going after them.
That's the other thing. Like, that bullet didn't really do anything to him. So why do they have like a weapons armory of like guns and
Weapons,
shit?
yeah.
If they just don't do anything.
It's because the prop guy was like, oh my God, we have all these guns.
I will not rest!
I've seen those movies. I've seen Thor Ragnarok. The guy has a gun.
There are guns in
There are
Thor
guns in that movie. So Thor's got to have guns. Then they're running through doing nonsense. She takes a piece of chalk and she draws like a portal.
Which I thought all you had to do was yell Gateway at a wall.
Gateway.
Not this time. Right before they're about to go through, Loki starts summoning different monsters up to attack the city, and the Valkyrie is like, Thor, I'm gonna go hold them off.
It's really not effective. I mean, she's very tiny, it's very large, and she's just kind of beating its ass. And there's a point it gets
She's like, I'll stay back and fight them. You go, Thor. What do you know? Thor's like, nope.
No!
I'm gonna go fight Loki again. And then Loki shows up and Thor takes off his trench coat and he's wearing like his cape, runs at Loki, and in doing so, pulls out an Uzi and starts shooting at Loki with the gun. But then Loki uses his force powers and grabs the Uzi and starts going, eh. And then the Valkyrie comes over and is like, she stabs Loki in the face.
And then they go off and they're having a dialogue like, oh, we gotta go. And then you see Loki's in the background. He's just pulling it out of his face. So they jump through the portal, but then, Loki's got the sword out of his face by then. So he kind of just reaches in and he catches the Valkyrie by her leg and pulls her out. Thor goes in, he drinks some whiskey, and his gunshot wound is better, which
Instantly.
Thor is just such a pussy because like Loki doesn't get affected by guns, but Thor does. Thor sucks. So he goes, he heals his wounds, he jumps back through, he sees Valkyrie woman on the ground, she's got some lipstick on her neck.
She goes, Thor, I love you. And Thor's like, no.
I love you so much.
You think she dies, and then her eyes just turn black, and suddenly a smoke comes, and guess who it is? Loki.
The guy himself.
She's just gonna die. did it again, baby.
You think after the third time Thor might not fall for that, but Thor is a dumbass.
He grabs the hammer, and then it goes to the scene, the wall scene. Loki takes Thor and the Valkyrie and like crucifies them against the wall. They're like pressed up against the wall. And there's like Loki, there's like this really cool like cute little scene where Loki is like on the ground. And, like,
They're up on the wall there.
it looks so bad. It's so funny because Thor just basically looks at her and goes, "Looks like I fucked up again."
Could not change her fate.
And she's like, "Oh, you're so powerful."
We're in good hands. Your hands.
And then Loki comes out and he goes, "Ah!" And then he just sends that girl into hell.
She just falls down.
She
and
just dies.
like eviscerated, and then he goes, "All right, you too, Thor," and just sends Thor down.
But Thor's okay. And Thor survives, and now he's in the lava world, which is hell, I
Yep.
guess. And he dips his hands in the lava, and he kind of just starts punching it.
Thor's doing something.
Meanwhile, Loki is just kind of causing general catastrophe up on the surface, right?
He goes to our oval heart of the world, and there's the guy there, the really cinematic scene, and the guy with the two
The same
swords.
guy that gave Thor the runaround.
And Loki just takes his rattle and goes, boop, and he just
Man.
disappears. It goes, one hit.
Thor is such a pussy. Holy shit.
I'm Thor.
Then Loki goes to the heart. He takes the hammer and just hits it once. Then there's like some stock footage of like a flower dying.
It's supposed to be like life getting sucked from the world, right?
And then Loki just goes, "I will not be stopped."
He's beating it and throwing a temper tantrum, and buildings are just collapsing, and everything's set on fire, and dogs and worms are killing people.
Suddenly out of nowhere, just Thor's back.
Yep. He's made his lava into a new shape, and he comes out, and it turns out he was
hammer.
making a new hammer.
I sent you to hell!
Thor just goes,
Really the crown scene of the movie.
so then Thor and Loki swing the hammers at each other, and they collide, and then Loki's hammer just disappears, and he's like,
Yeah.
there can only be one hammer of invincibility.
Because Thor's plastic hammer outdoes Loki's styrofoam hammer.
Thor says some like weird bullshit, and he like tries to slam the hammer on Loki to kill him, and then he just like Loki just disappears. And then Thor's standing there in the middle of the street, and like this crowd slowly starts to form around Thor.
They kind of just stand there all stoic. I think it's supposed to be like a Superman scene, like when
where,
the
they're-
crowd around, they're touching him, they're
Yeah.
putting their hand on. I think it was, but it was like
But they're
7
just
people, and they're kind of just
and they're
looking
just
at him.
staring at him. And
Really weird.
yeah, and then
And then-
he's back to Asgard, and we're back in the cave
Yeah, where we started off in the beginning with the Fates,
with the Fates.
and they're like,
You are an abomination.
Thor, you have destroyed the Fate. We are really mad at you. We spent years making this.
Shameful chaos.
What have you to say for yourself?
and then he destroys it, and they all start screaming on the ground.
He just starts beating the shit out of this blanket.
And he's like, "Fate is we make fate, and the people of this universe now decide their own fate."
This world is now controlled by those who live here. And it will be for good or ill what we ourselves make of it. That is true fate. I don't believe in fate.
And then it cuts to black. And that is the movie.
don't do it.
Wow. I can't believe we were able to really like get through.
I still
that
really don't
really
think.
quickly.
I still really don't think. Tear time.
Cheers.
Ready?
We've both been
3, 2, 1.
A. Cut it.
Hold there! Beast! Beast! Jesus Christ! Ow! Ow! That was right in my head. Shit!